I have a question for you guys. Would you want to be a celebrity in this day and age? Has anyone desired to be a celebrity? Want the fame, the fortune, or just the money? Just curious. This brings me to my second point. Actually, I didn't even make a first point, but you know what I mean. The whole accusation against Jay Z, not talking about Diddy, that's a whole other thing. But the Jay Z accusation, I'm not sure if anyone's read it or kept up with it or whatnot, but it sounds a little fishy to me. Now, I just would like you to hear me out, hear my point. I don't know what side you're on. I frankly am not taking sides, but it does sound a little fishy. So, from the gist, from what I understand, and I'm just going to kind of sum it up, where there's a 13-year-old who had access to a Hollywood event and then had access to a Hollywood after party. And she's saying that Jay Z and Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, along with a mysterious woman, walked into the room and Sean Combs initially assaulted her, followed by Carter. That's Jay Z, if you didn't know. So after the whole thing, I guess she was um, disturbed, of course, by the whole case. She was frantic. She grabbed her clothes and ran out. She stopped by a gas station, and a lady or clerk helped her call her dad. She told her dad that she lied, and I think she told him what happened, but after that, just went home. Now, I know I'm paraphrasing a lot, okay? But I have a lot of questions regarding this story. I have a lot of questions because not only of this story, but also what has been going in the media in 2024. This year is a hell of a year. But I'm just thinking, if my 13-year-old snuck out at night, calls me frantic on the phone with her clothes looking all over the place, and she discloses what happened, I'm not just driving home unless I'm going to go get something. You could read into that, whatever. But I'm not going to be staying at home. I'll be driving back to wherever she was at. Or I'm going to the police. Okay. I'm going to make a report. Or I'm going to take her, not even and I'm taking her to the hospital for them to do an analysis. Okay. Now, it doesn't appear that any of these things were done. I guess they just drove home and that was that. And especially for this Jane Doe to be a 13-year-old, a person under the age of 18, isn't it the parents' responsibility to actually file for her, stick up for her? Just wanting to know your thoughts, especially in the comments. So I'm just thinking, okay, well, and I'm not trying to excuse or, big up for anyone, but that sounds really weird. Another thing is that there has been a lot of people getting accused of things this year. Essay is a big major part of it. But I find it kind of concerning that it seems like it's all happening at the same exact time, right after they passed that law in New York for a civil suit. there's a lot of red flags that are going up. And I'm not saying these people are innocent because I don't think they're innocent, to be honest. Just my personal, not anyone else's, not the company, the podcast, anyone on the podcast. My personal opinion, these people are not innocent by any means. What I'm trying to state is that I'm not sure if this exact situation happened, but I do believe that other things happened. And the real reason they're trying to get these people is not the reason they're telling us. I do believe that someone was offended, or the people that are getting accused have done something very wrong or overstepped their bounds in Hollywood. And this is why we're hearing things like this. Because honestly, I've been hearing rumors since, early 2000s regarding several celebrities. And to be honest, most of them are true or have come to pass, or we found out there was hard evidence later. And it's unfortunate. And I do believe most of the things, but this particular story just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know, you could call it a seventh, eighth, ninth sense, but this don't sound right. I'm very quick to call cap on the story. But again, if they've done it to previous celebrities, like, for example, the most famous one of this, past 2 decades, Michael Jackson. And then we find out it wasn't true at all. I really do think that they did something they were not supposed to. And one thing you cannot come back from is being labeled a PDF. Okay. I used to always, when I discuss with my friends, it doesn't matter whether you did it or didn't do it. If someone ever accuses you, of being a PDF, it's done. You're done. Your name is done. Whether you did it or didn't do it. If you get accused of being a PDF, and please read into this because I'm not talking about the actual, file extension, but I'm not going to say that word, PDF file. You're done. And it's going to destroy your reputation. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how little. You're done. I always say this. That's like the one thing, that's the one stain that cannot be wiped off, whether you did it or didn't do it. So, yeah, I don't know. I just would like to hear everyone's opinion, down in the comments, because this story just does not really sound right to me. Maybe someone else has another perspective, but I guess my brain doesn't, it's not calculating. It's not calculating. A 13-year-old, what friend is driving you at 13 years old? You have a friend that can drive you to a Hollywood party? No, I don't know if it was that easy to get into one of these Hollywood parties, but if that's the case. Anyways, there's just too many red flags. But I wanted to give some of the points that I was thinking about. I mean, supposedly, I guess the 13-year-old also signed an NDA. First off, if you're under the age, from what I understand, if you're under the age of 18 and you sign a contract or NDA, it's not valid. It's not valid at all. You have to be in the United States at least 18 years. You have to be a full adult to sign contracts. So if this is true where she was given a contract, I'm just curious as to why the person didn't know, unless she could have lied about her age. That's a possibility, but I mean, she's 13. How was she dressed? That must have been a lot of makeup to make her look old enough. But there are girls that look older nowadays. But I don't want to say that she's a liar. I'm not here for that. I'm just actually kind of questioning this particular story, not anything else surrounding the events we've been hearing for the past year regarding, people in Hollywood. But I like for, stories to make sense. And this is just not clicking with me. So I would appreciate any other feedback, comments, to see what other people are thinking, because this is kind of odd. Well, I'll let y'all go. I hope you have a beautiful day or night whenever you're listening to this, and be safe.